Welcome to Tony Martignetti Nonprofit Radio, big nonprofit ideas for the other 95%. You're with us on our live coverage of the Next Gen Charity Conference. And joining me now is Ami Dar. Ami is the founder and executive director of Idealist.org. It was built in 1996 with $3,500. It has become one of the most popular nonprofit resources on the web, with information provided by 100,000 organizations around the world, and it has 70,000 visitors every day to the site. I'm very pleased that Idealist and Ami's work brings him to our coverage today. Ami, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Idealist. I think people know it for the job postings.
Mm-hmm.
How did that portion get started?
Well, the whole thing got started at the same time, and we built the site in 95, 96 to allow any organization in the world to essentially have a space on the web for free. At the time, everyone wanted to be on the web, but having a website wasn't sort of obvious how you would do that. And so we said, let's create a site where any nonprofit, NGO, charity, anywhere can come, create a profile of themselves, their mission, and then post the things that nonprofits sort of do and need. We didn't get into the whole donation business, but we said nonprofits need staff, they need jobs, volunteers and interns, and they produce programs, they produce events, and they produce resources.
Yes.
So allow any nonprofit to list as many of those as it wanted from the very beginning. And then as people started doing that, the jobs thing sort of took on a life of its own. People kept coming back to the site to find jobs. And so the site became better known for that, but we still do all of the other stuff as well.
And we're going to talk about some of that other stuff. Mm-hmm. But that was a critical time in 95, 96. Yep. The web was just emerging broadly,
right,
and nonprofits were trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it was an interesting year. I mean, 95, actually, we started in 95, and it's the same year that Craigslist, Amazon, eBay, and Yahoo. I mean, it's a sort of interesting year.
Right, yeah.
And the following year, another interesting year, is the year in which for the first time people took websites and attached them to databases. So 96 was the year in which you could sort of go and find a book on Amazon or go and track your package on FedEx. And so we said, well, wait a second, why shouldn't nonprofits have their own database where you could like find stuff? And that was completely revolutionary at the time. Now it's sort of obvious.
And I remember having a friend, I had my first business in 94, 95. I remember having a friend who predicted that the web wasn't going to last. It was a fad. He's still in business, remarkably. He still does his own business.
I have to say that we had a whole bunch of meetings like that with funders, basically, who said, this thing is just a fad, it's going away. There was, again, I don't know about you, but I'm sort of getting old. And I remember things, for example, I remember 96, 97, 98, how it took 2 or 3 years for foundation staff to sort of deign to add an email address to their card. It was like, it was phone. This email thing is weird, and plus, why should I give it away? So the thing was just a fad. It was going to pass. Well, it sort of lasted a bit.
Yeah. Well, and let's talk about some of the other resources that are available besides, so that the audience knows they can go there aside from looking for jobs or posting jobs. What's another area you'd like to have the audience know about?
Well, volunteering, for example. I mean, they can find volunteer opportunities where they are all over the world. The whole site works in English, Spanish, and French. So idealist.org, idealistas.org, idealist.org. The whole site is in those 3 languages. You can search, you can browse, you can sign up for what we call email alerts, which is that you can basically put up a profile of yourself and say, I'm in New York, but I want to volunteer in India as a nurse next summer. And so every time a nonprofit posts something that matches your interests or your location, you'll get a, dear John, good morning. Here are the 3 or 4 things that match you that were posted yesterday. And so we shoot out about 250,000 of those emails every night to people.
Okay.
And the beauty of it is that email is free, so it just goes out, doesn't cost us anything. We don't have to pay for 250,000 stamps, and people get their email alerts in their inbox next morning.
And there's something that I'm not sure people are that familiar with, that individuals can benefit from it. These types of volunteer opportunity alerts.
Exactly. Right. This is all free. But you have about 1 million people right now who are getting those, and you're invited to sign up.
Okay. What's another one you'd like to share?
On the nonprofit side, I mean, you can get volunteers, you can get interns. If you have any event that you're doing, you can promote it, and people can sign up for it. You can, if you have any kind of resource, you produced a DVD, you produced a video, you want to share that with people, come along and do that.
Oh, really? So sharing all your content as well?
Sharing all your content, listing it, and sharing it, and people can come out for that. If you, different thing altogether, if you're thinking of possibly going to grad school next year or 2, we partner with the grad schools all over the country to do these about 20 fairs, like face-to-face you can go in 20 cities around the country and meet admissions people from, things like social work and nonprofit management, and actually talk to them in your city. So we just finished a whole season now. We'll have another season next fall and summer for like 20 more. So there's a whole set of, then we have what we call these resource centers. If you're a volunteer manager or a nonprofit manager, you can go and like find out all kinds of things, useful links. So I think people need to go and just basically check it out and explore it.
'Cause you clearly want Idealist to be a part of the social media fabric, so that as nonprofits are embarking on a social media strategy, you want them to be considering Idealist as well as a place for content, volunteer management, volunteer finding, etc.
Right.
Okay. Anything you'd like to leave us with?
Look out for the next version of the site. 2 years ago, we started working on this completely new idealist.org that will be launching in the next few weeks. We're hoping before the end of the year. So look out for a completely sort of new, modernized site, and hopefully people will find it useful.
Okay, excellent. We look forward to that.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank Ami Dar, the founder and executive director of idealist.org, for joining us. You're listening to Tony Martignetti nonprofit radio coverage, live coverage of the Next Gen Charity Conference.